27, Cole McManus. Over at first base, number 32, Zach Bale. The cleanup hitter in left field, number 7, will be Josh Lamb.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mike Frame Field here at Forest Glen Park. It is Preston Husband alongside Mike Frame here for game number 2 between the Marian Knights and the Huntington University Foresters. It is 2-1 in this third Crossroad League series of the year in favor of the Marian Knights. And Coach, Foresters are leaning on one of their oldest pitchers, an experienced guy, the lefty Pappenbrock, Tyler Pappenbrock, to get him back on track today.
Yeah, I think that they're really at a point where they need a quality outing from Tyler. RJ in the first game today had his second straight kind of subpar outing on the mound, and I was kind of surprised to see that. The Huntington needs to come out of this game with a win. Obviously, if you're a Marian fan, you're hoping that they, can win the series in the second game today. But Huntington, I think they need to bounce back, Preston. I think that it's kind of a gut check game. Okay, where are you guys at? How competitive are you going to be? And it's time to demonstrate that a little bit. So
Huntington now 3-8 in the conference. They split the season opening series in Crossroads League play with Indiana Wesleyan, which at the time you would have definitely taken because that's a really good Wesleyan team. Swept by Taylor. 3 out of those 4 games decide within 2 runs. All 3 of these games in this series, Coach, even though Huntington has only won 1, they have had the lead in each one of those early on. So they're looking for this pitching staff to get back on track, and it's a good opportunity for Tyler Pappenbrock to do so. He's 15-15 in his career. He's thrown 221 innings. His last time out against a Taylor team that obviously just hits the ball up and down the lineup, he went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, 6 Ks, 4 walks, 260 Ks in his career, 105 last season. But he is 0-3 this year in 21 innings, a 10.13 ERA, and he's just a guy that you expect to have better numbers than that. But we've talked about it before. A couple rough starts make your stats look a little inflated for the rest of the season.
Well, I think that this pitching staff has really struggled across the board to execute pitches, in key situations. And you look at Marian's pitchers just in this series, they've executed pitches, and their velocity is not overpowering. I think sometimes we put too much emphasis on velocity and not enough emphasis on pitching. And so I think that's the message for the Huntington staff. And I know Mike is sharing that message. I get that. But it's time to kind of it's kind of time to show up and begin to perform like you can perform. And I know Tyler wants that, and all the pitchers want that. They want to be able to do that, and it's just time that happens.
Take you through the starting lineup. First for the Marian Knights, they'll be facing the lefty Tyler Pappenbrock, who is in his senior season here at Huntington University. It'll be Johnny Rader. He batted a little lower in the lineup in game number 1. He's the center fielder. Cole McManus in right field. Paco Paulina must have been getting some work done on his glove as he just now jogs out on the field. Zach Bale, he's having a monster series. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs in game number 1. He's followed by Josh Lamb, Cameron Salazar, Seth Hogg at the DH spot, Hector Corona, Jacob Dill as that first pitch is up too high, maybe a little inside, and then the shortstop, Elijah Kelly.
Yeah, it was certainly the Zach Bale show in game 1. He really got the pitcher in counts where he knew a fastball was coming, and to his credit, he didn't miss him. And so it's one thing to get yourself into a good count. It's another to not miss that.
Flores, even though he doesn't have the bat going right now, Coach, he continues to look pretty sharp out there defensively at shortstop. Of course, that's not where he started this season either. It was Braden Kaufman, who's now out for the season with an injury, but you don't miss much defensively when Flores is out there at short.
No, he was the Forster starting
Right.
shortstop last year, and as a freshman, which is wow, that's tough. Yeah, but he did a good job. And
Pitch in there for a called strike on McManus, left-handed hitting right fielder. Wind kind of just twirling around. Saw it blowing out to dead center and a little bit to left to start this one. Foresters, of course, in their green tops, and it looks like pinstripe white pants. I am colorblind, so correct me if I'm wrong.
no, this is a good look for him. I
It
think.
is.
Yeah.
Pretty sharp, as that breaking ball was sharp. Lefty on lefty. It's now a 1-2 count.
I think that's one of the things that RJ struggled with in the first game. His breaking ball was just not sharp, and a lot of these guys, to their credit, were fouling that breaking ball off or taking it, and once again got into fastball counts. Now, how many 3-2 counts Huntington had in the first game, and so it just and we're back to a 3-2 count here.
Thank you. McManus waits for the full count pitch. It's up too high. First base run of the day is a walk. That has been a little bit of an issue here as of late, as the first runner is on. I do think that Mike Gallo, Brady's dad's tuning in right now. He said Coach Frame held it down in game one on the mic. And of course, Brady, he's a star on FDN Sports. He's
Yes.
done a few basketball games
Yeah,
as well.
he got some time on the mound today. Did a good job.
Yeah,
His
first collegiate
first time
appearance.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, both he and Cade Shelton first time out.
Saw that, Norwell boy.
Yeah,
He's had some siblings that have played some sports in the Crossroads League.
yeah. A good friend of mine used to coach at Spring Arbor and a couple other places. Sam Riggleman.
Okay, yeah.
Won 1,000 games in college and was really a great pitching coach. And one of the things he would chart with his pitchers is how many times in a game we went to a 3-ball count. And he wanted that to be obviously not very often. And I know the first game today, there were just a ton of 3-ball, 2-strike counts. And the folks out there probably got tired of hearing me talk about it. So.
Obviously gives a pretty good advantage to a hitter. And right now, Bale needs no advantage as he has another hit. Teammates can't even touch him in the dugout right now. He's so hot at the plate. Ball lifted down the right field line. It's going to drop in fair as it's picked up right in front of the fence by Declan Thompson. The runner is on his way home. Flores throws a strike, and he's called out at the plate.
Good job, catch.
Coach Miller arguing that maybe Ryan Wheeler was blocking the path.
Way to go.
Flores, who maybe saved Thompson from an errant throw, missed the cutoff man, and then there's the defense again by the sophomore shortstop.
I'm trying to figure out why Thompson was throwing the ball to second base.
That's what I was a little
With the runner at second base to start the at-bat. I didn't really understand that.
Sometimes you just have to have a teammate bail you out, and that's what
Yes.
Flores did. It's scoreless for now as that first pitch breaking ball catches the inside part of the plate against Cameron Salazar. Talk about another tough out. This guy finds ways to make it tough on the pitcher each time up. 0-1. Hit to the left side. Going to be another long throw for Flores. He goes the short way, and it's in time.
It's a nice play.
Yeah, he makes all 3 outs there as Flores making
Well,
us
the
look
ball
good.
the ball hit down the line was not hit hard.
No.
It was just hit in a perfect spot. And are we staying live between innings? Are we going to just keep talking?
Yeah, I think so. We can just continue to talk if you'd like.
My wife's probably tired of hearing me talk. So
That's all right. I'm sure we can come up with some good stories.
it was really fun to have Dave here.
He's awesome. Dave's a good guy.
Yeah. I might invite him back.
Yeah, you should.
So
There's some games I simply can't be here because
Oh,
I usually
I know.
work till 4:30.
I know.
And in fact, I cheated the system a little bit today. I can tune out, or I can clock out at 4:23 and not get penalized. So I did that today. I won't do that every week, but
Well, I know you're not really committed to being here, so you know.
something like that. This is only my 65th broadcast of the year or something.
Yeah.
We had a fun weekend this weekend. I know it didn't go the men's basketball way, but man, hosting the national tournament had just a lot of good vibes around it.
Good.
It was a lot of fun. Of course, like we said, HU didn't win. We would have loved to see that, but we had our largest FDN sports broadcast ever.
Wow.
On Saturday night. We had over 1,100 live viewers a couple times throughout that broadcast, and it's just really cool. I mean, Adam, who's over here helping us get cameras set up today, he was producing that. And then myself, we were the only non-students on that broadcast.
Wow.
So it was pretty remarkable what.
Well, I was watching from home, but I'm not smart enough to know how I chime in and tell you that I'm listening. So
You can always just send a text. We'll say hello.
Oh.
Yep. That Northwestern team, the Foresters play, they could make a serious run.
they were really good.
They were.
I don't know whether you know Jay Peters.
Yeah.
Jay played basketball here at Huntington and really knows a lot about the game, and he just felt like that's as good a team as he's seen.
I agree.
You know,
I really agree.
And yeah, they shot the lights out of it, but they just the quickness in terms of cutting and that kind of thing. It just he was real impressed with them.
And the thing is, they've shot the lights out of it all year long.
Yeah.
The number one 3-point shooting team in the country.
Yeah.
Well, it's March Madness, but we'll get back to baseball.
Yep, that's right.
Pitcher on the mound is Damian Wallace. Comes into today with no wins, no losses, 5 appearances, 1 start. So this is only start number 2. A 6.08 ERA as the now 11-11 Marian Knights will try to take the series against the Huntington Foresters. It's been a up and down year so far for HU, but still a lot of time left. Young in the season. Like you said, this feels like it could be a turning point if HU can find a way to split this one. Wallace, working from the first base side of the rubber, will deliver. And a check swing called ball as it's 1-0 here on Declan Thompson.
You know, I think Declan's done a pretty good job being thrown into the lineup.
Moves this one into shallow right, roaming over and taking a look at it. McManus, but it's Rader, who's like a ball magnet out there, who makes the grab. Dropped it on the transition, it looked like there. He made some good plays in that first game.
Yeah. I think Huntington's hoping to get
number 7.
Bryce Deckman back
Paco
this weekend. I think that's kind of caused some issues with their outfield rotation. And I talked to Bryce a little bit between games, and he talked to the doctor, and the doctor kind of wants to see him again on Wednesday to kind of see where he's at. Try to get a redshirt year for Kaufman.
Okay.
If they can.
Yep.
And
That would be big.
So.
Paco Paulina, who's 0 for 4, game number 1. It's been unusual this year, though. He's the team's leading hitter at the moment. It's taken outside. And really, Glasgow's kind of got it going as well. Now Cam's batting average creeping up towards the 250s. Those 3 guys can really start stringing it together. And Deckman comes back. See this team kind of get it going.
Well, Meyer, the DH the first game, he was really hot to begin the season. Has kind of cooled off a little, although he had a double down the third baseline today.
With a 4-pitch walk, and then it'll allow Belden to come up.
Good job, Pop. Come on, Belden.
Belden in game number 1, he walked, singled out to right field, struck out, and then walked again.
Belden Glasgow.
3 times. And in the last 2 series, he's hit 4 home runs as well, so
Yeah.
that pop's coming alive as well.
Yeah, he's had a good year. I think he's been a very productive hitter.
Third base again here in game number 2. Swing at that one. Maybe a little jammed on the fastball, but found right back. Molina obviously very aggressive. That's how HU scored one of their runs in game number 1 is being aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah.
Parker Richards coming in. 1 pitch.
Yeah, Thompson stole third, and then they threw the ball into left field, and he scored. That's how they scored their first run.
Yep.
So we'll see what they do here with Paco at first base. Pitcher looks like he's pretty quick to the plate, kind of a slide step.
Strike. As it was Dill, the catcher, coming out of his stance. That's always a tough call for an umpire,
Yeah,
to stick on that ball and call it a strike when the catcher's moving so much.
that's a good point.
That's why you always tell your catcher be as still as possible back there. Throw over. Paco dives back. Defense behind Wallace today. It's Corona, Kelly, Salazar, Bale across the infield. Dill doing the catching. Lamb, Rader, and McManus in the outfield. You see the infield still playing Glasgow to pull. That's where he's hit every ball in this series. 1-2 pitch. Up too high.
You know, this lineup for Marian has been pretty consistent. They've moved guys around a little bit. I mean, Rader, first 2 games, he led off. Game today, he hit 6th or 7th, I think, and now he's back to leading off. But it's the same guys. And
Yes, good velo at the top of the zone there. The first strikeout of the day for Wallace.
All right, come on, Cam. Put it out there, Cam.
Stepping to the plate for
Now
the
that'll bring up
Foresters
Cam
will be
Clarkson. He
number 12,
just missed a home
DH,
run.
Cam
In
Clarkson.
fact, he thought he got it. I saw that on the stream in game number 1.
yeah, if that ball's 2 or 3 feet to the left, it goes over the gate, and there's a home run.
Stay aggressive in the box here. Another throw over. And then Cam hit a pretty deep fly ball to left field as well that was caught right around the warning track.
Well, I think the wind took it,
Right.
too. It was kind of deceiving.
It's one of those plays the outfielder kind of floats with the ball, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get in trouble doing that. But like you said, it could have been the wind kind of pushing it that way.
Yeah.
He looks more comfortable recently, though. In this series, he's been pretty good. That home run in the first game we called. Nearly left the yard here in the first game today. And 1-0 from Wallace. Side corner. If you're watching today, feel free to leave us a comment in the YouTube comment section. Stacy Barton, watching from Mooresville, Indiana. Selby's mom checking in. He's playing out in left field here in game
Playing
number
left
1.
field today, yeah. Yeah, I know they're trying to get his bat in the lineup.
Paco going, that throw too high, and he'll pick up another 90.
All right, good job.
Now pass ball, wild pitch, balk, all the other different ways you can score as Paco's on third. Now trying something new with Selby out in left today, you said?
Yeah, just trying to find a way to, to see what his bat will do in the lineup, and so he played shortstop one game at Taylor. So he's working hard to get in the lineup.
Pitch, swing, and a miss.
Good cut.
That evens up the count at 2-2.
Looked like he took something off the fastball there.
Yeah, it could have been a little change-up,
Yeah.
or like you said, just notched it down a tick or two. Trying to get Wallace attention. Cam fouls it out of play. Imagine there's a little extra water in the creek today after yesterday.
Don't miss it right here. Let's
Well, I
go.
think they were down here. They have a couple low spots in the outfield that I think they were down here pumping some water out last night.
Sure.
So I don't know if they've got a couple drains clogged out there or what, but I know there's pretty significant drainage under the outfield.
Swing and a miss as Wallace strikes out 3 and 4 in the Foresters lineup.
Let's go.
Paulina gets all the way to third. Nothing happening for the Foresters, and it will be up to Seth Hogg, Corona, and Dill for Marian when we start the top of the second. Does this field drain pretty well typically?
Well, when we put the infield in, they found that there was an 8-foot drop from the center field fence to the right field corner.
Wow.
So they took 365 loads of dirt out of here
Jeez.
just to level the outfield, which had never been done
Yeah.
before. And so while they're doing it, they put the irrigation in and they put drainage in. But there's a couple spots that just, I don't know if the drainage is plugged or what, but it's not draining, I think, the way Tom thought it would. I know they're working on it. But it's meant to drain really, really well.
Thankfully, we got a little sun today. It's not the warmest day, but
Yeah.
a little warmer than yesterday. I think we were at almost 80 degrees at one point on Saturday, and yesterday it was 29
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah.
heading to the grocery store.
I think it was a good move not playing Saturday.
Yeah.
Just the way it turned out. Those are always tough, Preston. You get as much information as you can,
Right.
you make a decision, and then some days you're like sitting in your office going, why are we not playing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you just can't do that. There's all kinds of things that go into that. So
It rained pretty stinking hard when I was walking into Platte Arena
Yeah.
on Saturday. Of course, that was later afternoon, but then again, if you're Marian, would you rather for sure come play 2 today or get stuck playing 1 on Saturday and then you're back here on Monday?
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
Appenbrock's second pitch is down in the turf. That's now a 2-0 count on Seth Hogg, today's DH.
So he pitched the first game.
Okay.
So
I did not know that.
yeah, he threw the ball well.
2-0. Check to swing. Should be a no swing, and it is 3-0 now. There's another 3-ball strike for a Forester pitcher.
Yep.
As Tyler rocks and throws, hits the bottom of the zone there.
Well, part of the issue, I think, with their travel was being in a bus with these high wind warnings that were out there.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to be in a high-profile vehicle with
Probably
that
not.
going on? So,
Swing and a miss. So Pappenbrock comes down from 3-0 in the count, gets his first strikeout of the day. It's nothing new for Tyler. Obviously, one of the program's best strikeout pitchers in his time here. Had a huge strikeout season last year. And in fact, it's the first time in a couple of years he hasn't been averaging over 10 strikeouts per 9. He's a power pitcher, trying to get back into a groove today. Of course, one of his best starts, he took a loss in. That's one at IWU.
yeah.
He only
yeah.
gave up 3 runs, and the offense just couldn't pick him up. Definitely a swing at the plate by Corona, as it's now 0-2.
Well, I believe one of the games in Alabama that Huntington came back and won, Huntington took a 7-2 lead into the 7th, and he wasn't on the mound. They'd taken him out for pitch count reasons, and the bullpen gave up the lead. Huntington had to win it in extra innings.
The lefty delivers again. That's just outside, maybe a little up.
I thought it was interesting that they've decided to give some other guys a chance out of the bullpen
Yeah.
and see what they can do. And, I mean, Shelton threw the ball well. So did Gallo.
I couldn't quite tell on the broadcast. It looks like Shelton's really over the top. Maybe I was just not seeing it correctly, but his breaking ball seemed to be working pretty well, at least where I was watching on a computer. But
Yeah.
kind of comes over the top. And Gallo, you were talking about how he has a short arm approach.
Mm-hmm.
A little different look from a couple of guys. Shelton was a good basketball player, right? I'm pretty sure he was a pretty good ball player at
That I don't, at Norwell?
yeah, I'm almost certain. Strike 3 called as Pappenbrock Again, goes to a full count. This time uses the breaking ball, and it freezes Corona.
I know he played the outfield at Norwell in addition to pitching. Didn't play a lot last year because he had hip surgery, which is kind of interesting for a high school kid to have, hip surgery.
Yeah.
So
I guess I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I remember him playing a little basketball over there. If anyone's watching and knows, you can always correct me as well. Now 0-2 quickly on Dill.
these four starting pitchers, they get the ball and throw it, don't they?
They do.
Dave and I were talking about that on the broadcast. That it's a get the ball, get on the hill, and get ready to go.
Yep.
And playing, especially in the infield, behind somebody like that, it's so beneficial because you really have to expect that the ball is going to be hit at you every pitch if they're in the strike zone and that kind of thing. And it's not just a matter of your pitch count being low and getting ahead of hitters. It's to keep your infielders in a rhythm at times defensively. So,
Rock just struck out the side and felt like it went by in about 2 minutes. So your point right there, he just gets on the mound and goes.
And even though two of those hitters went to a 3-ball count.
Right.
But he's working fast, and so.
Did Thad come up and talk to you after the games on Friday?
No, he didn't, because that's why we had Graham come up today.
Okay.
Because Graham came up, and we had already shut the broadcast down.
Okay.
And I asked the young lady that was here, I said, can we turn it back on? And she's like, I don't think so. So that's why I asked him to come up today.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I heard him to start that,
Yeah.
that first game today. Well, I'm sure Thad will probably come up and join us after
I hope
game
so.
number 2. See if this offense can get going now. I obviously couldn't watch much of the game Friday, but a couple of the guys came over, and it's always that question: did you guys win? You don't know what you're gonna get, but
Yeah.
it was a good report on game number 2. Kim Clarkson told me he made a mistake in the field, cost Colin a little bit.
It was really interesting because there was 2 outs, runners at second and third, a ground ball to first base, and Cam fielded it and ran to the bag. But the problem was the ball was behind him, and he thought it was in his glove.
Right.
And so it was, Graham didn't give up any earned runs
Nope.
on the day.
I saw that in 11 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Pretty big performance.
Yeah. It hit 94 in the last inning, which
Wow.
his 100th pitch of the game was 94.
I saw he threw 126.
Yeah.
Ross trying to bunt his way on. Looks like he got that top hand out of the way. Obviously trying to bunt for a hit. Ross has raised his batting average a few points here in this series. Game number 1, though, 0 for 4. It's that one too low. It's 1-1.
He's done a good job in center field. I know that's not a place that he's played an awful lot, but he's done a good job.
Split this time. It's now it's 1-2.
I think they've been trying to figure out a way to work Parker into the lineup a little bit more. Certainly defensively and with his speed, that's a plus. I think still trying to figure out things offensively, at the plate.
Ross lifts this one high into the air. It's the shaded part of the field, but the sunglasses still on for the shortstop, who makes the grab. Kelly sporting the sunglasses. He's still got a couple of spots out there with the sun poking through on the left side.
Now batting for the Foresters. The first
This time of night, you always get this coming across, the shade coming across.
I played first base here some, and the throw from third to first, depending on where that sun is at, boy, that can be really, really difficult.
Probably guessing which tooth you might lose.
There were a lot of times I'm like, okay, the ball has disappeared. I'm just going to stay with where it was the last time, and it worked out okay. But you're right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go see the dentist tomorrow.
Fouled away. It went to Pelletier. Put you one of those new NFL helmets that avoids a concussion.
That's right.
Wallace, so far so good. Just gave up the one base runner. It was Paco Paulina. Just got all the way to third, but did not score and just missed.
Wow, that's a tough pitch to take right there.
This Pelletier was frozen, but it's a ball and it's 1-2. Pelletier playing first in this game. Caught the first one. Out down the right field line, out of play.
I'm thinking that they're thinking moving forward, talking about next year, Zach's probably going to play first base.
Okay.
They've got a young man coming in behind the plate that him along with Michael Slayball going to be pretty good.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. Down too low. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Zach is definitely a team leader, wants to be a team leader, and he's going to need to be in the lineup. So I think that's probably a place that you'll see him, next fall a little bit more.
It's another close one as it goes full.
Wow.
Pretty good at bat.
Those are tough pitches to take.
They are. Full count, Damian Wallace sets right at the waist and delivers the payoff pitch. It's down too low.
That's a good at bat.
6, 7 pitches, I believe, at the end of it.
Number 24.
So he's on first.
Catcher.
Not someone that always gets to run all the time.
Yeah, we were kidding Friday that, hey, Zach, just go run to that white thing in front of you and turn left,
Can't run through the bag at second. Brings up Ryan Wheeler. Getting a rare at bat here in this early season. Fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
Last year, Tyler seemed to be a little more comfortable throwing to Wheeler behind the plate, so I think they're kind of trying that out again and see if that will work.
So far. Wallace from the stretch delivers down to
Ryan's got a really good eye at the plate, has a knack for getting on base. Sometimes his contact percentage isn't maybe what it needs to be, but he has productive at-bats.
1 in the count here, 1 out in the bottom of the second. No score yet. It's inside again. It seems to be that Wallace is working that side of the plate to every hitter. And once again, you can't quite tell on your screen, but you should be able to. He's working well on the first base side of the mound.
Yeah.
The 2-1. In fact, the more I watch him, Coach, he kind of has a crossfire delivery a little bit. Not the sidearm, but he does kind of get out and around the ball and then comes across.
Yeah, most right-handed pitchers will start on that side of the rubber, but to your point, he's kind of stepping over that front leg as he throws to the plate.
Miller hits this one up to the left side of the infield in the air. Again, it's Kelly, and Corona comes over and swipes it out of the air for out number 2. Couple of pop-outs and a walk. Now it's Selby Barton who will get his first at bat in game number 2.
Now batting the left fielder.
This guy on the mound, what's his name, pitcher?
Damian Wallace.
Wallace seems to have some late movement because there have been some balls that have been popped up, and typically that's what happens with late movement. You don't quite have the ability to square it up.
I think that breaking ball breaks a ton as well. I've seen a couple We talked about this other day. It's more like a sweeper, truthfully.
Yeah.
Say hello to Kate Flores' mom, Kara, watching from LaPorte, Indiana. Pitch. Ball on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Selby just needs to relax and trust himself.
Count here. And pitch. Breaking ball. He could not check his swing. And it's a strikeout for Wallace.
It's obviously a pitch that a lot of these guys can't pick up.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure what it is because they, Dylan and Wheeler both popped the ball up, and Selby looked like he was trying to figure out what that pitch was. So,
Yeah. You think the Shadows can do anything?
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. Selby looked like he didn't pick up any of those.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know there's some ballparks in the major leagues, they will not play at certain times of the day because the shadows get so bad. And I've heard about, you watch it on like a Fox Sports game when they've got it on national TV, and it always seems like they start at different times and the shadows become a factor. Of course, when a guy's throwing 95, 100 against you and you can't pick up the ball, it's a tough place to be.
we played on a team in Florida, Weber International, and if you started at a certain time of the day when the sun started to go down, because it was in dead center field, you'd have to stop for 3 or 4 innings, and then you'd pick up your game, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. So very nice field and good program, but you're just like, they tell you beforehand, okay, we get to this point in the day, we're going to stop until the sun goes down. So
Seems like you just start the game when the sun goes down, maybe. Elijah Kelly, the shortstop for the Marian Knights, will lead us off here in the top of the third. First pitch, looking to bunt for a hit, but bunts it right back to Pappenbrock, who hooks it on to first. And man, if you're the starting pitcher who's kind of struggled so far a little bit this early season, you will absolutely take a guy bunting it right back to you for 1 pitch and 1 out.
yeah,
Back to the
it's
top
one of the
order
21
for the
outs you
Knights.
need to get, and you didn't really have to do a whole lot.
No.
Number 3, Johnny Ritter.
Kelly makes it easy on Pappenbrock, and now it gets a little harder as the top of the order is out. Johnny Rader, today's center fielder, takes a strike right on the inside corner.
Yeah, to your point, he's done a nice job at center field in this series. Has made some nice catches.
Good job.
0-2. He's
You not that they're doing this, but you kind of feel like you can hide somebody in the corner somewhere, when you've got a center fielder that can go get it, like he can.
there are a couple balls in game number 1. It just looked like no one was going to get to it, and he would kick it out of the sky. I think he swung and missed at that. It gets by Wheeler, and he can't get back to it in time. As I'm not sure if Appenbrock maybe crossed him up, but that was a swing and a miss on what looked to be a high breaking ball, and the runner's on.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's not something you see a whole lot. Wheeler's not acting like he got crossed up. I mean, there's no conversation going on.
Cole McManus.
Maybe that he missed it.
Yeah. So maybe there is somewhat of an issue picking up the baseball. I don't really know. Brings up McManus with the runner on first. That's first base runner since the first inning for the Knights. Is another good breaking ball. Drops in against Cole. Appenbrock at 32 pitches now. 3 strikeouts to go along with 1 walk. No hits yet. Excuse me, 2 hits. No hits for the Foresters on offense as McManus waves through another breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Good job.
McManus seems to have some difficulty picking up that breaking ball. Now I say that, and he'll hit a line drive off somebody's forehead. So that swing was not A great swing. Wow.
Came right back with the fastball and struck him out looking.
Definitely fooled him because I think he was looking for another breaking ball there.
Brock has now struck out 5 of the
batting,
last
first baseman, number
6
32,
batters.
Zach
He
Bale.
can strike out the side for the second straight inning here, but it'll be Zach Bale. I was gonna say strike out 4 batters in an inning, but I forgot the first batter hit one right back to him on a bunt. I've seen that occasionally,
Yeah.
a couple of times. I've not seen someone strike out 5 guys in an inning. Oh, 1. Hit to the left side, Flores. Will go the short way again, and Paulina keeps his foot on the bag. It's a force out, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Forster's looking for some offense now.
I don't know why this is the case. You may not remember this guy, but I remember when the Reds used to be in the same division with the Dodgers and the Giants. The guy that played first base for the Giants, Dave Kingman. Remember that name?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He was built a lot like the Bale kid. I mean, he was tall, just strong looking, and I don't know why I thought about that when he hit 2 balls out in the first game.
You know, there's something about his home runs that they go a long ways. He's hit now. I couldn't quite tell if the one to right field went, but the ball he hit here in game 1 on Friday, I mean, he hit it about halfway up the hill in left center field. It was a tank.
Well, the ball he hit to right field today was a bomb.
Okay.
It's gone anywhere.
Yeah.
So he's been impressive.
Yeah.
And as we've talked, doing it, a lot of it with the dislocated finger. He's the guy that dislocated his finger at third base.
Yeah, that was bizarre. And then he came back in and hit, and we talked about it. His finger was not looking. It's probably something they wouldn't show you on an ESPN broadcast. They say, look away.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure who we got tuning in, but it says M. Burnett. Love that y'all broadcast these, watching from Texas. Oh, thanks for tuning in, M. Burnett. Thought it was funny when we did these basketball games this week and all the Iowa fans chirping in the comments and making all their jokes, and
Well, they certainly earned the right to chirp.
They did.
Oh.
I kind of have fun with fans like that though too. Throw a couple jabs here and there. You gotta have fun with people. First pitch from Wallace is fouled away by Flores. He shot a double the other way in game number 1.
Yeah.
This is a guy you get so much out of him defensively. You'd like to see that offense come back around like we saw last year. Still a lot of time to do it. Outside. 1-1 count. This gets the sign from his catcher Dill and will deliver the 1-1 pitch. And again, Flores trying to go to the left side, fouls it over top of the dugout. Looking to add another K to his stat line. Too high with the fastball. 2-2.
Kay's been working hard to try to get on top of the ball a little bit so that he can use his speed a little bit more. Right there.
Right up the middle, and it goes past the diving second baseman Salazar, and that looks more like the Kate Flores we're used to seeing.
Yeah, that's a good swing. That's his game right there.
Now batting the 4th.
If you hit a ball over the fence, if Kate hits a ball over the fence, it's a mistake. And he's the kind of player that needs to get on top of the ball, use his speed. So that's a good swing.
Well, good combination to use the speed here is the leadoff man Declan Thompson's at the plate. See if Coach Thad Frame decides to bunt here. They're going to try to see if he shows anything with pickoff move to first. Marian obviously thinks they may attempt to bunt because Corona continues to make his way a little closer to home plate from third. Wallace delivers. No bunt showed. That's too far outside. I feel like Thompson would be a good hit and run guy.
Well, I think they're still trying to figure out, he's a freshman, you know, and what is he going to, can you trust him to make contact, you know, all those kinds of things. But I think, yeah, definitely down the road, he's got some speed.
I think he shoots the ball, at least a lot of his foul balls have gone the other way as well. Dribbling through the right side, pitch up too high.
Well, even if McKay doesn't run here, he's definitely got the pitcher's attention.
We're ahead here. Let's go now. Let's go.
Wallace trying to get back in the count again, throws over. Flores, you know, they talk about your fast twitch muscles. He looks like someone that has those, you know. Just very quick diving back to the bag, and seems like he'd be quick doing a lot of different things. Again, back safely. If this were a Cubs-Reds game, we'd be jogging down to second. Too many attempts.
Too many attempts, yeah.
Of course, those guys, I think the Cubs play tomorrow night. Tokyo. 2-0 pitch. There goes Flores. The pitch outside. The throw too late. Throw into center. The second throwing here on Dill. And now the Foresters are cooking here with a runner on third and nobody out.
That's a tough error to put on the catcher because the middle infielder's got to make that play. You know, he's got to at least knock that ball down. So that's tough. Are you a Cubs fan?
No.
Okay,
you know
good.
That. You know that.
Good.
Reds fan.
Okay. We won't talk about the Cubs anymore. So.
3-0 pitch. Outside corner. Yeah, they're playing over in Japan. I think it's tomorrow night. I could be wrong.
When does the regular season open?
Well, that is the regular season for those guys. They do it a little earlier.
Wow.
And both teams have several Japanese players, and that's kind of the reason they're going over there.
I see.
3-1 pitch. Hit into the air. That will definitely be deep enough. Raiders still going back. Catches it. It will be a sac fly to start the scoring as the freshman Thompson has a great at-bat.
That really is a good at-bat. He hit that ball well.
Stepping to the plate for the Foresters will be the second baseman, number 7.
Kind of manufacturing a run there, right?
Yeah. A small ball.
Yeah.
Single up the middle. Steal of second. Throwing air pushes him to third. And then exactly what you want to see. Thompson puts it in play. Now Paulina looking to bunt for a hit is called for a strike. Got some more comments here. Sarah telling us the last time Wallace pitched at Huntington, he had 14 strikeouts. I know that. I should have done my research, but of course.
Last time he pitched against Huntington, he had 14 strikeouts.
Last time Wallace pitched at Huntington.
Oh.
Pretty cool. Assuming that could have been a career day. Last year the series would have been at Marian, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember him throwing here.
It's the 2-0 pitch. Lifted into center field. Raider continues to get good reads and puts away the second out. Now 2 down as Huntington leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Now, I catch myself doing something, and no one at home would notice this, but one of the first things I was ever taught to do when I broadcasted baseball was to never say 1-0, and I just did. 1-0.
Don't say 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, can't do that.
I've got to do that over at King Stadium. Fouled away. Wallace is a freshman. So maybe he pitched here.
What?
At least that is what the roster says in front of me.
Where did he go to high school?
Cardinal River. It says Kaiser University, though. I'm intrigued now. I might need to pull up the website. Oh, okay. Played for Kaiser last year. 14 strikeouts was in 2022. There you go. I don't know why it hasn't marked as a freshman on my printout.
I don't remember Kaiser playing here.
No. I don't know. Fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Not that we don't trust our source in the comments. Swing and a miss. Wallace doesn't have 14 today, but he has one there as Glasgow goes down swinging. Huntington only puts one up, but they grab the first lead of the day and will head to the top of the fourth.
Isn't Kaiser in Florida?
I think so. Taking a look. Not seeing it in 2022-23. He's a senior this year, so my roster is wrong. However, I'm still not seeing when Kaiser came to town. Once again, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Kaiser's never played here.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyways, he's having a good day today, though. He's pitched really well as he's holding Huntington to that one run. And I'm trying to think if the throw there is an error on the catcher. Would that have been an earned run? I still think it's an earned run, right, in that situation?
Well, there's a stolen base.
Right.
But the error allows him to go to third.
I think it's still an earned run.
Well, fly ball to center field, he doesn't go to third, I don't think. Or certainly doesn't score on that.
Yeah, true.
So I don't think that is an earned run.
Okay. They have it as earned in the stats, but I don't always know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Sarah's letting us know he played for Marian as a freshman, sophomore, went to Kaiser for a year, and now is back at Marian. So that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Would have been in 2022 when he played for Marian. Sorry, Sarah. We're just trying to figure it all out.
Don't mess with the mom.
Hey, I'm not. I told her I was trusting her. Someone else tuned in saying good baseball. Appreciate that. Pappenbrock will work into his fourth inning here. He will be facing the catcher Josh Lamb, who singled his first time up. And 2 hits so far. Pappenbrock delivers a little excuse me swing, and it's fouled off. It's 0-1 in the count against Lamb. Lamb's caught and played left field in this series. Kind of an interesting duo.
Mm-hmm. He does a nice job behind the plate, throws well. Had an errant throw in the first game that cost him a run, but other than that, he seems to have thrown the ball pretty well. Pretty good arm strength.
1-2. Pappenbrock's breaking ball's been really sharp here today.
It really has. It really has.
That fastball keeps coming right in on the hands of the righties. I've seen that a few times. In fact, he's coming so far in that a lot of these hitters have turned around to the umpire thinking that ball's in, but he's spotting it. Baps 1-2. Hit down the right field line and will tail out of play. Thompson takes a look into the trees. Assuming it's pretty wet down that way.
Another $8 gone.
Yeah,
right there.
no joke. Hey, M. Burnett was a theater professor at HU in the early 2000s. Watched a lot of games there with my son Connor. Became a pitcher in high school in Texas.
I remember Mike.
Okay, there you
I
go.
remember Mike, yeah.
And was looked at by HU, tried out for Coach Frame around 2017.
Yes.
How cool.
Yes. Hey to Mike, how you doing, buddy? I remember him, yeah.
Ground ball left side. Glasgow backhand, long throw, just in time. Really nice play there by Belden.
Yep.
It's a long throw.
I remember Mike, big guy.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it was a nice play by
Now
Belvin.
batting,
He
Marian,
did some
the
work
second
before he
baseman,
caught the ball to
number
get his
5,
feet
Cameron
where they
Salazar.
needed to be, and that's a key to that play.
Appenbrock too far inside. Salazar. Round into a fielder's choice. 6-4 his first time up. Where's the conference tournament at this year? Any idea?
I think it's at Indiana Wesleyan.
Is it?
I
Was it
think.
Taylor last year?
I don't know.
This one's jammed. Flores has been busy and makes an easy catch.
I think it's Indiana Wesleyan, and then next year it's at Spring Arbor.
He's got a brand new field.
Yeah, and then I think it's back here after
Stepping to the
that.
plate for the Knights. The
Well,
DH,
it's a long wait, but
23,
excited.
Seth Cobb.
Hey, I did find where Damian Wallace went 9 innings, struck out 14 batters as a true freshman, gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. How about that?
Wow. So that was here on this field.
April 12th, 2022.
Wow.
3 hits. I was against a good lineup coach. Daniel Lichty, Langston Ginder, Ian McCutcheon, Satchel Wilson, Jared Gray, Matt Wolf, Owen Young. True freshman.
I wasn't coaching then. That was after we got back from Arizona, where I got hit in the leg and I almost lost my other leg.
2-1 pitch.
It's a good pitch.
Seth Hogg up here. He pitched in game 1. Coach Frank told us that earlier. Struck out his first time up.
He threw the ball well in game 1.
Man, that breaking ball again, even in a 3-1 count, is just finding a way to get that over the plate.
He's comfortable with that today, isn't he? Which is good, because it certainly lengthens out his fastball.
Thought he had it again. That one maybe just stayed up. It's his first walk since the first inning. He's just got 2 on the day, so much better control here by Pappenbrock. Up to 56 pitches, and then Hector Corona comes to play.
Hector Corona.
By the way, Mr. Burnett, that is great to hear from you, Coach. Great hearing you call the game. He says he's doing well.
Thanks, Mike. It's good to hear.
That's good. Back good swing by Corona. Someone else tuning in from Syracuse, New York. Dad of a 2025 Forester coming in.
Wow.
I don't know if you do.
I don't know. I just know they have a great recruiting class coming in. I know that.
Tremendous. Donald Strict is the
Oh, okay. I remember that last name. Yeah.
Syracuse College, University, best broadcasting school in the nation.
Really?
Yep. Ball State's number 2. Chirp, chirp.
Sure.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pappenbrock has it rolling through 4.
Yeah, I've heard that last name Strict in terms of just having breakfast with the coaches, you know, and throwing that name around. So yeah.
I love that we've got some future Forester fans tuning in already. Son is at East Noble, Indiana, left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think he just had labrum surgery, if I'm not right, Mr. Strict.
There you go. Eric Andrews tuning in as well. He was actually helping out this weekend. He works here at the university, and he was filling in for Joanne while she was on the women's basketball trip.
Okay.
So he was step-in SID this weekend. Does a really good job. He was taken in the first game from the press box. Now he's watching at home.
I don't know how Joanne does what she does.
I don't know either. It's a lot. Every sport. Even when she's assistant coaching, she'll be taking pictures at the end of basketball games.
Yeah.
So she does a good job. Women's basketball team made their first tournament in over a decade, and they actually won their first game as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Darby
was
Maggart's
good
a
to
good
see.
coach.
Good to see.
Yep. We talked about this, and the coaches around Huntington right now, all very young. There's a very young feel to most of the coaches. Of course, Owen Young last time stepped in and said Thad wasn't young, or one of the older players did.
Oh, why? Oh, man.
I haven't seen him in the chat this week. He must be busy. And it's been a good start to baseball season here. We're still not having all the bells and whistles to our broadcast yet, but I promise you they will be here. Kind of just been a long week and a half for FDN Sports. I'm still just tired.
Hopefully we can get some of those things for Friday and Saturday.
Yes, coming up. Bethel coming into town. Yeah, you'll probably have to grab a partner for that Friday game.
Yeah,
First one.
I think I've got somebody in mind.
Sweet.
So
Definitely be here for both games on Saturday. Cam Clarkson steps up to the plate. Wallace gets a swing and a foul for strike one.
Jim Kramer here today taking some pictures.
I saw him down when I walked in. As Clarkson rolls one to the right side, and it goes right under the sliding glove of the second baseman Salazar.
I thought that was going to be an out.
Sure did, too.
Salazar played it like he needed to play it. He just got through him.
I'm wondering if it took a little bit of a tricky hop right at the end. Kind of snuck under his glove.
Was he in the outfield when he slid for that?
Pretty close. I think he was right on the edge of the turf in the outfield, so he could have got a little bit of an odd hop.
Turf monster got him.
Yeah. Ross at the plate. Swings and drives one into center field. Wrong guy to hit it to. It's Rader, who goes back a few steps and makes the grab.
Hit the ball hard.
Well, this game's moving by.
I don't think one run's going to win it.
No.
Now batting the first baseman for the Foresters, number 29,
Here,
Zach
and his
Pelletier.
teammates trying to play a little add-on. First time up, walked. Good at bat. Went full 6+ pitches. He's down, takes the first pitch strike. I'm ready to add that center field camera in. I love that angle.
Yeah. There have been some pitches that look good from up here, but you just can't tell.
Yep. Really hard for me to call him Pelletier. I was at Ball State, they had a Ryan Peltier who won a gold glove in the entire country at third base.
Wow.
That's always what comes to my mind. Peltier. 0-2 pitch. Right on the outside corner and called strike 3. You have to Ryan Wheeler to keep the inning going.
You know, I think Friday, in between games, I'm going to
Now
bring
batting for the
Ethan
Foresters,
Heaney up
the
here.
catcher,
Yeah, that's a good guy to do.
number
I'd like for
24,
people
Ryan
to know
Wheeler.
what Ethan is doing, which is very cool.
Yeah.
When he leaves here. So, and I didn't know anything about it till I rode with him down to Georgia.
Pitch. Fouls it into the glove for strike number 1. You know, I heard something else that there is. I don't know all the information, so I'm gonna tell the story the best of my ability. Wheeler takes a breaking ball too high and outside. There's a bowler here at Huntington University that is tracking the pitches and using all this different data to help some of the coaching staff with guys getting to the right release point and stuff. Joanne was telling me this. He's on the bowling team. He's like one of these analytical guys, and he's been helping some of the pitching staff and pitchers with their release point and the spots they get to. I can't remember his name right now, but Joanne is going to send me an email at one point kind of explaining what he's doing. And he's actually, I don't know the kid's name, but he's reached out to different major league teams as well to offer his help and to see if he could start doing that. Clarkson's off and running. Wheeler lifts one into deep right field. Not deep enough as Raiders underneath it and makes another out. It's the 5th inning. Huntington up 1-0. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I've been told.
I know that there's been a young man that's been at practices some but I didn't know he was helping with pitchers' release points.
I guess so. Maybe we'll have to ask Dad about that after the game. There's so much analytics nowadays for everything. You can really check it all out. Oh, I got a message here on Twitter. I meant to say something to Sean Fenton, who's Anderson's father, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Said, tuning in. Said, thanks for the great broadcasting. Keep Coach Frame in line. Shout out from Fenton Farms in Highgate, Ontario.
Yeah.
Let's go Foresters.
Yeah. I tell you, they were so faithful traveling to games when Anderson was here. And they were down here about every weekend.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Hope they're doing well. Hope Anderson's doing well.
All the way from Canada. I don't know what kind of drive that would be. Maybe not as long as you think, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's as long as you might think, but yeah, it's not like driving to Fort Wayne.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do a little Google search here. As Pappenbrock will work into his 5th inning of work.
Jacob Dill.
Oh, drives a little longer than I even thought. 9 hours, 2 minutes. That's pretty far.
That's pretty far, yeah.
Ground ball left side, just foul. It's off of the bat of Jacob Dill, number 2 catcher for Marian. You know, I was talking about Marian with Tyler, who was sitting next to me during the first game of the series, our stat guy. And you're talking about how Indiana Wesleyan used to be Marian University and how Coach Steve Platt, and I still remember this to this day as this has popped up out of play, he used to call this Marian, Marianne, and Marian.
Well, that's the only way you could determine the difference.
Right.
And I think there were some folks that didn't like that,
Yeah.
but it was like Marion and Marianne.
Yep.
And, you know, before they became Indiana Wesleyan.
Pappenbrock tried to get a chase, and it's going to be called no swing. Still able to hold up.
Boy, that was a long time ago, man.
Pitch.
Yes.
Right in there. Same
Yes.
inside fastball. Wonder if that's got a little two-seam movement on it, Coach. 'Cause a couple of these batters bailing out a little bit, and that's finding the edge of the plate.
Could be.
Now batting the shortstop, number
That's a good
4,
point.
Elijah Kelly.
Strikeout number 7, Pappenbrock, and that brings up Elijah Kelly. First pitch. Down the left side. Flores deep in the hole. Gets to it, and again, big throw over.
Yeah, he's just really solid there.
Yes.
He's just real solid.
That's a play you expect him to make, but he just makes it look
Next
so
up for
smooth.
the Knights will
Yeah,
be the center
your
fielder,
shortstop's
number
got to
3.
make that play
Yep.
at the
Johnny
college
Reeder.
level.
You're right.
And so we're back to the top here.
Yep, Johnny Rader, who is 0 for 2. He's been on once, though, because he struck out. There's a pass ball.
You know, Dave and I were talking about all of the technology in the game and that kind of thing. We were talking about how we felt about spring training, them using a machine to call balls and
Yeah.
strikes. And you know, I feel like I'm old school and don't really like it, but I don't have any good reason.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I even love it, but at the same time, as Rader lifts one deep into right, settling under it, Declan Thompson makes the grab. It's another easy 1-2-3. Pappenbrock will send the Foresters to the plate, up 1-0 in the bottom of the fifth. They have really started checking the hands of pitchers after every single inning now. Wonder if they're having some issues with some pitchers in the NAI around the country.
Well, apparently they're supposed to do that, and they haven't been doing that.
Okay, gotcha.
And so there was a note that went out to them that, hey, this is a rule, you need to do it.
Yep.
And, you know, what was nice about that, when Pappenbrock came off the field, the first guy to see him was R.J. Anglin. And R.J., I know, is frustrated with his last two outings and all of that, but he's the first guy out there to greet him, and that's being a good teammate.
And RJ's obviously got better days ahead of him. We've seen him,
Yeah.
you know, be super, super good in his first few seasons now, season and a half at the collegiate level. Yeah, he's still got to be a good teammate, and RJ's obviously that.
Well, his game against Indiana Wesleyan was just lights out, the 9-inning game.
I know.
And then, you know, at Taylor, the wind's blowing out, and Taylor's a good offensive team, and he was just up in the strike zone, and boy, they made him pay. It's one thing for a pitcher to be not getting the ball where it needs to be. It's another thing for the other team to make him pay for it. Right. And they did. So they got a nice club.
Donald Strick said, good memory, coach. Starting bullpen work this week.
Good deal. Good deal. I was down here mowing last summer. He was down here, I think he was trying out with Mike or something. He was throwing in the bullpen, and my lines weren't very straight because I'm like, who is this guy throwing? Looks pretty good. So I'm glad to hear he's starting to do some bullpen work.
Everyone's tuning in now.
Get her now.
Pumping up the viewers.
Deal.
Brian Kirschbaum. Good to hear Coach up in the booth. This one's lifted out to left field. Stumbling at first was Lamb, but made the catch.
I think Brian's got our school record for saves, maybe in a season or career.
We could do a little search.
Yeah, I think Sandy Marian, that's her son-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sandy's awesome.
Yeah.
Always helpful at the front desk.
Brian had a good career here. He was very competitive, and you bring him in relief, it's pretty much lights out. I mean, the game's over.
This pitch here, it's down too low. I'm telling you, we've talked more about Pappenbrock, but Wallace has been really good.
Yeah, he really has been.
5 strikeouts, 1 walk, just 2 hits.
Yep.
And that run, like we said, not really on him. 1-0. Hit hard up the middle. Flores looking for his second hit, and he's going to get it as there's a stumble in center field, and it's a stand-up double.
Hit that ball hard.
There's maybe some of that slick, wet grass still out in the outfield.
Could be. Yeah, that's a spot that that might still be a little bit soft out there.
Also got Brent Turner tuning in. First time checking an HU game out this year. How you doing, Coach Brent?
Good.
Hear you on the call.
Good to hear from you, Brent. Hope you're doing well. Just got married. Hope you're being a good husband. You know, so.
We'd have to get his wife in the comments to confirm
That's
that,
true.
right?
That's true. We'd have to ask her.
Okay, let's take a look here. I'm trying to find some saves. So Brian, it's Kirschbaum?
Kirschbaum.
Okay, making sure I'm saying that right. 2009 to 2013. Most career pitching appearances was 72.
Okay.
And the most saves with 21 in a career.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. And a season as well. He had 9 saves in 2012.
I hope I can tell you this story without Brian getting upset.
All right.
Brian came to work out, and he was a pitcher, and he kind of threw over the top, and it was it was okay. And so I remember Coach Abbott and I said to him, did they make a change?
Yeah, they did. It's
Okay.
Jay Stoops coming in. Kind of a short leash here almost.
Yeah.
71 pitches.
Anyway, we asked Brian, do you do anything else? And he said, yeah, I dropped down to the side. And we're like, okay, let's see that. And he was just nasty. And I remember looking at Brian going, yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah.
And he had a great career here.
That's awesome.
We moved him into a starting role, I think, his senior year, and he was just bad. And so we put him back in the bullpen, and once again, he was lights out.
Looks
so,
like it worked out for everyone.
yeah.
Also have the Ingle siblings watching from Shipshewana,
Yeah.
sunny Shipshewana. 2 future Foresters coming
Yeah.
in next year.
Twins.
Gavin and, is that right?
There's actually 3 coming from Shipshewana.
Okay.
I think there's twin brothers and then Gavin.
Okay.
Um,
Well, isn't Gavin one of the Ingles?
he's an Ingle, but he's not one of the twins.
Oh, okay.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man.
If I have that right, if I'm wrong, I
Yeah,
apologize.
and
but
like I said, I don't know a lot of the new Foresters yet. I will next year.
this guy looks like he can run it up there a
I'd
little
say
bit.
so. It's Jay Stoops, right-handed pitcher at 6'4", out of Monticello, Indiana. Went to Twin Lakes High School. He's a redshirt senior.
Okay.
Ready to roll.
You know,
Stats
I
up
don't know
as
if
well.
he's listening or not, but Steve Christner, Adam Christner's dad,
Yeah.
Adam played here,
Oh, yeah.
has a really tough time going through cancer. And so we certainly wish him the best and praying for Steve and hope all that works out. Just a really, really good man.
Stoops will deliver the first pitch. It's a good breaking ball, but it's down too low.
Yeah, I thought that was a quick hook.
Yeah, you want to know why he's in, though?
Wallace, why?
5 appearances, 2-0, 1.42 ERA.
I could see how you'd want to get him in the game.
He's only thrown 6 innings, but he seems to be a firefighter. Comes in and puts out the problem, and he may have
He's
just
out.
picked Flores off, and that's one way to put it out. Bad time to get picked. Now 2 outs in the inning. Inside move, got him. It's up to Declan Thompson to get it going again. You know, Adam Christner, he played basketball as well, right?
No, he originally came here with the idea of playing basketball. but he
Okay,
didn't.
maybe that's what I'm thinking. Hop up to the catcher, and it's caught just like that. New pitcher Stoops comes in, gets quick 2 outs, and it's on to the top of the 6th. Still 1-0. Foresters, that double from, what was Flores, can't come around and score. And it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Marian Knights. Okay, I think I'm thinking of the right guy. Adam Christner, you said he came here to play basketball.
Well, he played basketball in high school, but I
Okay.
don't think he had ideas of playing basketball here.
Okay,
I
so
might be wrong.
I think he helped out with Crestview Middle School basketball.
Yes.
Greg Fiedler.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it was Greg Fiedler. Maybe it was Coach Kennedy. Anyways, he would come to our practices,
I think he helped Coach Kennedy.
and he would beat the snot out of us. He would play so hard and so rough. And he is listening. How about that? Adam Christner is
Awesome.
tuning in. He would beat the snot out of us. And the coaching staff would always say, all right, if Adam makes this ridiculous shot, this 3/4 court shot, you guys have to run sprints, double or nothing, you know? And so we'd always give him a second chance. He'd always make it. And here we are dying at the end of practice, just running up and down. I'm assuming Adam would probably remember my name, maybe not. But Jamison Klein and Connor Platt, which, of course, Dan Klein played here at HU, baseball and
Yeah.
basketball. So all those guys. That's funny that name brought up. He did say Max and Jackson Ingle are twins. Gavin is their cousin. So
Yep.
you're right again.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
pitch, breaking ball to Pappenbrock's outside.
I think this is a big point in the game because Marian's got 2, 3, and 4 up against Pappenbrock, and with only a 1-run lead, we'll see how this goes.
2-0 on 2 straight breaking balls, a little too far outside to Cole McManus. 0 for 1 today. Strikeout. Gets jammed, lifts it into shallow right. Paco got a good read on that, made a catch.
We did. He really played that well. You know, I went over to the hospital today to get a test done.
Okay.
And guess who I ran in walking out of the hospital?
I have no idea.
Connor Platt.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm walking along, and this guy comes walking towards me, and I wasn't paying any attention. He just said, "Hey, coach," and it kind of caught me off guard.
Right.
So, but it was good to see him.
He's actually the best man at my wedding.
He's a great kid,
Yes.
and his brother's a great kid,
Yep.
and I don't want to say this on the air, but I've got to. I just love Ty to death.
Yep.
He was a good friend. Obviously, I knew his dad well, and so we lost his dad way too early.
Absolutely. 1-1 pitch. Popped up, got Bale a little jammed on that one. Belton Glasgow maybe couldn't find it, but Flores could and catches it in foul territory.
Yeah, I think that's a big out.
Yeah.
That's a big out in this game.
That's 2 batters in a row that Pappenbrock again establishing that fastball inside and jamming back-to-back hitters.
Yeah.
Now batting the left fielder.
Well, of course,
Number 7,
Connor's
Zach
sister
Bell.
married to Derek Gray.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, Jarrett's somebody that I thought about calling about helping with the broadcast.
He would be good at this.
So,
He would be really good at this, I
but
think.
I don't want him to be better than I am.
Yeah,
That's the
true,
problem.
True. He's a firefighter now.
He's a firefighter.
and a realtor.
Yeah.
Wears a lot of hats.
Yeah. We got 3 former players that are firefighters.
Good.
Shea Beecham, Kyle Zerfus, and Jarrett Gray.
Go, put it in the books
I
there.
feel like
Let's go.
athletes typically go into that sort of field.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Oh, boy, that was a
Outside.
good
Oh,
pitch. That was a good pitch.
Whoa.
Wow.
Pappenbrock's only at 76 pitches, 7 strikeouts. Trying to add number 8. Josh Lamb waiting for the 1-2. We'll take it too far outside.
So I got a text message from Adam. I hope I can share this, but he said his dad's doing really well. Numbers came back really good.
Great
and
news.
And he said, yes, I helped Coach Kennedy. So you barehand that?
Sure did, and made the play.
Wow.
Pulling out all the tricks. And he's through 6 scoreless. Pappenbrock looking more
Well,
like himself.
Adam, thank you for the text message. I'm not quick enough to respond to it while I'm talking on the broadcast. I have a hard time doing that, but I appreciate the text message, and it really warms my heart that your dad is doing well. I pray for him often, and that's truly great news. So thank you. Give your dad my best. For some reason, I was thinking about him yesterday, and that I need to contact him. So
Jay Stoops staying out on the mound. You know, another thing about Connor Platt, he's about to have a baby.
Really?
Here in the next month, yep.
really,
Married Savannah Buck, who is an all-time great basketball player at the University of St. Francis in Homestead.
okay. I felt
Obviously-
bad I didn't recognize him. He just caught me off guard.
Well, he's so big and strong. I don't know how you can miss him. Connor, he's awesome. The whole Platt family is really great.
Yes.
I'm glad they named the arena Platt Arena when
Yes.
they did. It's very cool.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Just about set for the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Beyonce, Paco Paulina, Belton Glasgow, and Cam Clarkson. You know, Paco is one of the stars on FDN Sports too. We ran a couple of commercials with him on it this weekend on the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
Talks about how he's from, I hope I say this right, Curacao.
Curacao, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how a lot of his family back home watches the broadcast. It's the only way they can see him play. And now he's been hit on the hand. You gotta say it's a foul ball.
Well, the hand's part of the bat.
Thad's not happy with it. Paco is in a lot of pain, and you can hear Thad, asking him to check with the other umpire. I think if you get hit on the hand, though, in that situation where he's pulling back, Coach, then would have given him a hit by pitch. But Paco, you can't see him on the screen right now. He is completely up against the brick wall.
He's in a lot of pain.
Yeah. You immediately start thinking, broken finger. Hope not. Umpire's going to have a chat about it, but, I mean, even with the windows closed up here, we could hear Thad kind of barking something out to maybe check with his second umpire. I think he's saying, why would my kid react like this if it was a foul ball,
And that's a good point. That's a good point. That was an immediate reaction.
Right.
It wasn't something that was calculated or anything like that.
The umpire is going to come over and speak with Coach Thad Frame right now. I think they're going to stick with the call based off of how Thad is using his clipboard to
Thank you.
speak with the home plate umpire. Wish we had our window open, Coach. Up there. See what's going on. These coaches for HU, they don't typically get that fired up. Right now, Coach Frame's pretty upset. And I think he's got a good argument because Paco, right away, as soon as he was hit, he reacted as if he was hit by the pitch. He's going to stay in the game, though, it looks like. At least he's going to try.
So they're saying that was a foul ball, right?
That is what they're saying. Yep.
Come on, Paco. You can do it. Come on.
Here we go, Pac.
Might be a thing like we kind of saw with Cam Clarkson the one time. Can he grip the bat? Can he stay in there and hit?
Let's go now.
Come on, Paco.
Pretty tough from Paco. Because as we mentioned, it looks like, at least from up here, Stoops has some pretty good velocity.
Well, it'll be interesting to talk with Thad after the game and see what that situation was about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Paco's still in a lot of pain, you can tell.
Good job.
Yep.
Hang
He
in
just
there.
took a
Good job,
big hack
Paco.
there.
Hang in there.
Come on, Paco.
Oops. Delivers the pitch. Inside. So
I always thought the hand was part of the bat.
I don't
And
know.
if the ball hit your hand while it's gripping the bat, then it's a foul ball.
See, I always thought that as well for a long time, but I think that has changed, and now Paco is struck out looking, and he'll be the first out of the inning. But I think they've kind of gotten away from that a little more, Coach. I think now if you get hit on the hand, because if you think about if you're standing at the plate and you kind of back away like this, and you get hit on the front of the hand, not necessarily anything you can do about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's obvious they thought it was a foul ball.
Right.
I mean, that's what they called right away.
I don't know if maybe it was a situation where the umpire also could have thought that Paco did attempt to bunt at that ball and it was a dead ball strike.
Could be.
We'll have to ask that. That's one that I kind of want the rundown on.
Yeah.
And obviously that is a tough call. That's a bang call because sometimes you think you hear the bat, you think you hear the hand. It's a tough job, but
Yeah.
it's the most animated I've seen that in a while, though. I'm sure you never got that way, right?
Yeah, he was pretty fired up.
Yeah.
So,
No, Corey
and he
Alford.
was fired up immediately.
Yes.
And I saw the Marian coach come out to the home plate area, and I'm kind of curious why that was. Maybe he thought the umpires were going to change the call. I don't know.
Right. Or maybe he thought it was taking too long, which I don't know.
Well, he came out almost immediately. So big pitch here in the game
Sure is.
to Belden.
Eldon waits on it. It's a full count. Defense still the same. Stoops delivers. Breaking ball too low.
Belden.
That bat.
Sure is.
Way to working.
I know HU has only scored 1 run, but they've had some pretty good at bats today.
Batting for the Forest.
Maybe it hasn't led to the runs, but maybe it'll be this last inning as we've got a new runner coming on.
This is Jonathan Baker running at
And
first
Clarkson,
base.
Bubba.
Percy
Bake
runner
is
at first
a
base.
pitcher, but came here
Come on, Cam,
to
hit
be
it
a
out of here.
dual guy, and he's very athletic. He
Bubba
can run.
Baker.
So they've
Hit her
used
hard,
him
Cam. Come on, hit her hard.
3 or 4 times this
Yep.
season.
I remember a few games last year him coming in. Good matchup here.
Yeah, definitely.
Stoops and Clarkson. Big righty delivers to the big lefty. And
There you
Cam
go.
shoots it the other way. Good swing,
warm-up
but it's out of play.
Hit her hard
Foul.
now. Hit her hard.
I like that he started to go that way a little more. Last year, I kind of felt like he was more just a pull hitter, but I've seen him hit a few balls that way already.
Well, I don't know if he was going that
Maybe
way
not,
or he
yeah.
was just late.
Right. 0-1 pitch. Popped up to the left side again. It's going to be playable for Lamb, who makes the grab, and then Baker will come back to first base. Could be a situation where Stoops also just has some pretty good
Now
velocity,
batting
Yeah.
to your
center
point.
fielder,
Yeah, could be.
Number 17, Dylan Ross.
It'll be Dylan Ross, who's 0 for 2. Popped out to the shortstop and then flew out to center his last time.
Well, Dylan,
Big extra run on first base if you can find a way to get
get
him
him in
in.
here.
Stoops pitch. Ball outside. It's 1-0.
Dylan hit the ball hard his last time up.
Decent lead at first. 1-0. Up straight up in the air. Underneath it, Salazar, but now the shortstop will come over and make the grab. That's Kelly. And that will send us to the bottom of the 7th. It looks like it'll be Tyler Pappenbrock to finish what he started. The lefty back on the bump.
Dad is back out talking to the home plate umpire again. And well, we talked about earlier that 1 run wasn't going to be enough. It might have to be.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, if Marian can't come from behind here.
It's the efficiency that Pappenbrock has worked with in this game has been so impressive as well. Just 80 pitches, Coach.
That is good. I think he was over 100 at Taylor. What was that? A week ago today.
in
he was
5
over 100.
innings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a lot more efficient today, which has served him well. And
That looks like he's done with his chat. You know, men's basketball coach Corey Alford got only his 2nd career technical the other night against Northwestern.
well, and he got. I was thinking you were talking about his dad, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve got his 700th win.
Yeah, he did. Very
just
cool.
now. Yeah. Yeah, Corey's not.
Now batting
He's
for
about as
second
chill as they
baseman
come, really.
for the
He
night,
is.
Number
He is.
25, Cameron
And I
Salazar.
think it honestly was a message to his team, trying to fire up the guys a little bit. His first ever technical, I remember calling the game, was against Grace. He threw a marker down, and it went onto the court. He wasn't even mad at the refs. He was mad at his team out of a huddle, and it got called for a tee. Bottom of the 7th, top of the 7th. Brock. A little stretching out there. Up the top of his left foot. 1-1. This is Cameron Salazar, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Side. 2-1.
Cordell.
I think it's Bethel St. Francis Goshen. series for
Oh, okay.
HU. 2-0, it's 3-1. Something's up with that left foot of Pappenbrock. Yeah, I think that season as well, and they're going to go out and check on Mike Bachman, actually. Notice that right away.
He's got a cramp going in there.
Trying to think, if you're pulling up on the front of your foot like that, sometimes you're trying to stretch your hamstring as well. Kind of looks like he's pointing to his toe, though. One around him, of course. If you're a Forester fan, you're like, how can this happen right now? Guy that's been throwing so well today, and you haven't even had to get anyone loose.
Yeah.
And so no one is loose.
Well, if he would have to be taken out of the game, whoever comes in would have all the time they
Right.
need,
Yep.
to get loose.
And it looks like now someone is heading down to the bullpen. Of course, once again, left my binoculars out in my car.
That's the second time you've
I
done
know.
that.
I'm going to just leave them up here. I actually think I am. I think when I come for the Bethel game on Friday night, I'm going to leave them up here. I don't use them anywhere else other than the golf tournaments I told you about.
Try to see where your brother's at, right?
Yeah. I'll just stand at the tee box instead. All right,
So,
3-1.
big pitch in this game.
Yes. Got to find a way to get back in the zone. Pappenbrock can't do it. It's a leadoff walk.
Just can't do it. Can't walk the leadoff guy in this situation. So.
That'll be Seth Hogg now, the DH. Interesting to see if the bunt is on here. Hector Corona, who's on deck, has struggled against Pappenbrock today. You also don't want to run into a double play. Throw over. Back in time. I'd assume it could be Max Meyer getting loose out there. Mason Meyer, there it is. Mason Meyer.
You did it again.
Every
didn't you?
time. That's bad of me. Pitch up top. Trying to see who else it could be. I can't quite tell the number on the back.
It might be Tate Mullen, too.
I think actually you're spot on. That pitch finds the outside corner. It's a 1-1 count. Yep, it's 19. Tate Mullins getting loose.
Looks like Marian's got somebody thrown in their bullpen as well.
So both teams at least prepared for this one to go to the bottom of the seventh, and that hit the batter. So now 2 free base runners from Tyler Pappenbrock. Bring up Hector Corona, who I mentioned has had a tough time, but I'm assuming he's probably up there to bunt the baseball now. And here comes Coach Thad Frame out to the mound. Control was just spot on all day for Tyler Pappenbrock, and then something happened to that left foot, left leg, and now it seems like he just doesn't have that same type of pinpoint accuracy.
Well, I'm assuming here with the struggles that Hector has had with Pappenbrock, lefty versus lefty, you're going to bunt the ball here.
Yep, I think so too.
That's just an educated guess, but we'll see.
Then you've got 8 and 9 behind him, who Pappenbrock has also handled today. But that's why you bring it back to the plate. Even if you're struggling, you got a chance to do something special. So Marian's head coach, Coach Miller, going over the situation with his runners and his hitter, his coaching staff as well. Looks like everyone's probably on the same page and ready to go. I think that maybe they're putting a new runner in at first as well. I'm going to look at what number that might be. I do think he is pointing down to first, that they're putting a little extra speed on the base paths as well. It is Benarski who's coming in to run.
So he is now the DH because Hogg was the DH, right?
Yep. It's true. Narski comes in to run. Out on second is Salazar. At the plate is Corona.
Third baseman.
Meyer continues to warm up out of the bullpen. Showing bunt already is Corona, and he bunts it fair for a moment. Rolls foul. All right, Coach, take us through what your defense is doing here.
Well, they just played that straight up. So the third baseman stays at home, and if the pitcher can't get to the ball, then the third baseman's got to come in and make the play. We'll see what they're doing here. They're collapsing at first base, which is fine because you don't have to hold the runner there.
Pitch. I'm telling you, the runner can go straight to third. Just let him do it.
Well, the third baseman's got to get back. He came running in, and then he just stood there, and that's just heads-up baseball. That's just bad baseball on Glasgow's standpoint. You just give him a base. I mean, now you're in trouble.
Yes, you are.
Now I think you got to play the inning to just give up one run, not give up, and try to win it in the bottom. But probably going to have to hit the mute button here in a minute. So.
Pitch. The umpire just showed the press box. Count should have been 2-1, but I think it should be 2-1 right now. Pitch. High. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Count is back to being corrected.
Come on, you're all right. Let's go.
Tyler's got to bear down now and find a way to put it
Get it out right here, right
into
here.
the zone. Pitch. Inside. Bases loaded, nobody out. That's probably going to be the end of the day for Pappenbrock, if I had to guess. Nothing happening yet.
I don't know if they've had a chance to get somebody fully loose in the
you're
bullpen.
right. Owens is still getting loose. Base on balls.
Get it out here.
Hit by pitch.
Get it out.
Walk. This is a new hitter, Dawson Eastep, who played in game number 1. Huntington has the corners in, double play depth up the middle. Pappenbrock's pitch, swing and a miss.
Huntington definitely looking for a strikeout here.
Yes.
Lefty versus lefty. Then you got the 9-hitter on deck.
Pap's pitch.
Yes.
Delayed call. 0-2. 2 straight breaking balls,
One more.
Coach. You sticking
Go,
with
put
it?
in the books. Put in the books right here.
I
Right
think
here.
so.
See if he does. 0-2. Fastball right by him.
What do I know?
I know it's out number 1.
See, that's a big out because now you're possibly a ground ball away from getting
Two
out
here
of the
now.
inning.
Two.
Batter is the shortstop, number 4. Elijah
Might have been his
Kelly.
best fastball of the day,
That's-
Coach.
yeah,
It seemed to
fastball.
have a little extra.
Go
Now it's
now.
Elijah Kelly. You always wonder if Marian might put a little bunt play on here, something with their 9-hole hitter up. Grounded out twice. Pitch.
Some coaches don't like to put the squeeze on or safety with the bases loaded.
Right.
Because now you got to force out anywhere. But
Rock trying to get back in the zone. Corner still pinched in. At least the first baseman is. That one is
Good, look
high.
good.
And it's 2-0.
Huntington has struggled to throw strikes to the 9-hitter all day long. I think he walked twice at least in the first inning.
Here's the 2-0.
He'll walk here again if they're not careful.
Here we go, Pep.
Gotta
Here we
find,
go, you're
gotta
all right.
find a way to challenge here if you're
You're
Pappenbrock.
all right. Let's go. Help me
Lead
now.
off
Help me
man,
now.
Raider on deck. pitch. Nowhere near the zone. Walked in the tying run.
If we walk 3 guys in the inning and hit somebody, and they've not put the ball in play to score any runs.
That's going to force Pappenbrock out of the game. Tate Mullins coming in to try to keep it right here. So far, best reliever for the Foresters out of the pen. 1.08 ERA in 8 appearances, just 8.1 innings. His job is to come in and keep it close or keep it right here and see if the Foresters can walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. It was a great start for Pappenbrock, but just lost kind of all command late in this game, Coach.
Well, yeah, that's about all I can say right there. So
we will wait for Tate Mullins to get on the mound. It'll be him against the leadoff man, Johnny Rader, and then Cole McManus to follow. And
I mean, Pappenbrock had the game where he needed it. He got big outs in the 6th, so he's at the bottom of the order, but he just wasn't able to throw strikes.
Yep.
And which has kind of been the MO for him his whole career.
Yep.
I'm not down on him. I'm just calling it the way it is.
Yep.
And he's got great stuff. He's got great velocity. Can have a great breaking ball at times, but unless you're executing pitches, none of that really matters. And yeah, your team's in a tough situation. Ask Tate to come in. He's going to have to face the top of the lineup, and to ask him to come in and shut this down, that's tough.
And he's also a guy that has struggled a little bit with finding the plate.
Yeah.
So now,
he's got good stuff, but he's struggled to find the plate at times.
yeah, 8 innings, 10 walks. So that is not promising, but he's also a big strikeout guy, of course, with 9 strikeouts. But in this situation, you have to come in, you have to throw the ball over the plate, because with how the Foresters' offensives look today, you really can't give up anything else.
No, and Huntington is down in the lineup in the bottom of the 7th, right? They've got 6, 7, 8 coming up.
I think it'll be 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So, I mean, this situation certainly favors Marian.
Yep. It'll be Johnny Rader, who is 0 for 3 today. Johnny on the day. Ground out to short. Struck out, got on base, and then a fly out to right. Just see if Tate Mullins can pull the rabbit out of his hat.
Well, so far, Tate struggled to throw any strikes in his warm-up pitches. So sometimes that doesn't always lead to somebody struggling. But if I'm a hitter, I think I'm thinking, I'm going to go up there and maybe take a strike.
Right. I imagine maybe if the head coach was watching that as well, thinking, hey, let's see one first. We'll see if that's the case. Mullins and Rader will meet. Corner still pinched for the Foresters. They're obviously trying to get that force out at home if it's hit right at them. Up the middle, still in double play death, but Rader, we know, is speedy.
Yeah, he can run. So
First pitch finds the zone. Mullins pitched, I think it was in game 1 of the series.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Now
I think
here in game 4.
I think he came in and threw an inning in game 1.
It's outside. Kind of an aggressive pitching style he comes in. Kind of really comes a long ways towards the plate when he delivers. 1-1 pitch. Too high. Manis waits on deck. And then 3 or Forester fan, you don't want to see Bale after that. Tate's 2-1. Too low. No contact made in the inning for the Marian Knights.
No, this whole inning is a great description of how Huntington has been this year with their pitching staff. Just can't throw strikes.
Yep, there it is again. Another walk. They've walked in 2 batters. And this Marian lineup not really having to work too hard to do it. That moves Corona to third.
You got to bring the infield in here.
Yep. And they are. The pitch. And there for strike 1. And now you even think back to Flores getting picked off. Things like that as well in this game that just can't happen if you're a Forester player and fan. 2 straight strikes from Mullins. And obviously we know these pitchers are not trying to throw balls and hit batters, but just has to be more crisp than it has been through the first few series of Crossroads League play. Popped up. It stays in play. Wheeler's got a look at it and does make the catch. And now you face the best hitter in Bale, who comes to the plate.
Well, it hasn't just been the Crossroads League.
Right.
It's been the whole season.
Right.
And as I've said a couple of times, velocity is good, but if it doesn't translate into executing pitches, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yep.
And that's kind of what Huntington has struggled with.
So here's Bale, who's had a massive series against the Foresters. First pitch from Mullins is too high, and we know he can hit a fastball, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Huntington's chance to come back and win this game is what happens with this at-bat, I
Right.
think.
Bale has been seeing it well all week. Grounded to Glasgow, who wins the foot race. So a good job by Mullins. He does walk a runner in, but only gives up 1. And now it'll be up to the Foresters' offense to put at least 1 on the board. We'll wait for the Foresters to come to the plate here and see if they can find a way to tie this one up. You talked about it being the bottom third of their order, getting that way at least, and they'll be facing the same pitcher. That is Jay Stoops. Since he's been in, not a whole lot happening, but really not a whole lot happening all day offensively. The Foresters just stuck right now on 3 total hits.
Yeah, the Huntington has struggled all day with doing anything offensively. And it's not just this game. It's been the whole day.
Right.
And Marian's pitching has just been a lot better than Huntington's hitting. I've been impressed with Marian. I think that they're going to put themselves in the mix in terms of this league in deciding what happens in this league.
I'm telling you, they're right in the mix right now at 7-4, and Wesleyan dropped one to St. Francis again today.
Yeah.
So now Wesleyan's 7-4, and it looks like
Huntington is quickly going to be out of it here
right.
if something doesn't change.
You're right.
So
We'll see if they can come up with some magic here. They'll need it. Pelletier at the plate, Wheeler, and then Selby Barton. Jay Stoops delivers outside. Pelletier's been on once today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Stoops' pitch. It's another sweep. Same pitch. Just gonna call a strike.
Outside.
1-1. 2-1 Marian in the bottom of the 7th. Tier set out of play.
Here we go, Zach.
I think that they brought in
Come on, Zach, let's go.
Parker Richard for defense in that inning because he was up to hit in Selby Barton's.
Yeah.
I see that Owen Immel has a bat in the dugout, so he may be bring that out.
Checked his swing. It's 2-2.
Go, Zach. Let's go.
Come on, Zach.
Stoops. It's the sign from Bill. It's the 2-2 pitch. Hit down the right field line, roaming over and making the grab in foul territory was McManus.
That's a nice play.
It is.
Nice play. That fence jumps up on you awful quickly there.
Do it.
Now batting
All right.
the catcher for the
Kind of slow down and make the grab, and now it's Ryan Wheeler who will
Ryan
step
Wheeler.
up. As you said, Owen Immel waits on deck now.
All right.
Go, Wheeler.
Stretch. Side. Big as Jay Stoops is, he lives on that what looks to be like sweeper slider a lot. He's thrown it a lot since he's been in the game. His pitch. Fastball right on field.
It's been a good pitch against the right-handers because he almost forces you to have to hit the ball the other way, which is a tough thing.
Swing and miss by Wheeler.
Here we go, Ryan.
2 count. It's the pitch. It's it soft in the air. Catcher Dill goes over and makes the grab, and the Foresters are down to their final out.
They're just getting no good swings against this guy.
They didn't have a ton against Wallace either.
No, they didn't.
It'll be Owen Immel, who will have to keep it alive for HU.
Let's go.
All 4 games in this series as well that the Foresters led in, and right now it looks like they're only going to
number
take one
22,
home.
Owen Immel.
Tough way to live. But not over yet. Immel at the plate. Just at bat here in game number 2 with a pitch. Ball again.
Good, Owen.
You got this. Let's go, Owen.
One on Immel. It is 2-1. I know our graphics are linked up to live stats, so that's why it says 3-1. It is 2-1. Can't change that, unfortunately. It's just hooked up to the stat system here at University. One pitch. Hit hard to right field. Got it off the end of the bat, and it's going to be caught in right field by McManus. And it is a series win, a come-from-behind series win in all 4 games. Marian Knights takes 3 out of 4 here at Mike Frame
That's
Field.
your final, ladies and gentlemen. The Knights, 2 runs on
We will wait and see if we'll have Thad Frame come up and chat with us following.
My guess is
Today's
probably
game.
not.
Yep. So we'll actually just go ahead and get ready and cut this one short tonight. The Foresters fall in the series finale. They dropped 2 today here against the Marian Knights. Huntington on a little bit of a skid right now. They'll pick back up in action next Friday and Saturday here at home against Bethel, and we will have that on FDN Sports. Preston Husband and Mike Frame, we'll send it to a break now, and we'll talk to you next time.
Hey, how do I end the stream? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I see the end stream thing. Do I just click that?
Yeah, end stream.
Okay.
And then go into, there's another browser, and it's Microsoft Edge. And you would hit you would hit that red button to make it green. So end the stream first.
Yeah, I did that.